Hey everyone, this is going to be your daily message. This is the real shit for April 11th. Wow, the 2019 is just flying by. All right, April 11th. I'm trying to stay on top of, and I know I'm not doing like a great job, but I'm doing better than I used to, showing you which decks we'll be using. So the tarot, like the main tarot that we're going to read from, is this one. I think you pronounce that Azathoth tarot cards. I don't really know. The book of, I don't know. I don't know what that is. To be very honest with you, I do not remember ordering this deck. I do remember seeing it a long time ago, and being torn, not because of me. Like, I like it, but I have a darker nature, and I'm more in touch and comfortable with that darker nature, and the art in it is darker. So I was torn on it because of y'all, right? Because some people, it just makes them uncomfortable. Certain imagery makes people uncomfortable. So that's why, like I said, I honestly don't remember actually ordering the deck. Obviously I did, because it did come in the mail, with several other decks that I do remember ordering. That one, I don't know how it got in the cart. It's possible that it was there from before, and I just, you know, I don't know. And even, I do love it. I ended up loving it, and that's what we're going to be reading from the main tarot. To clarify, it's this like smaller one. This is the, I don't know, it's just like a regular weight tarot, but it's like holographic. I don't know. I like the small decks to clarify because they don't cover up the whole cards, and I like pretty colors. So y'all know that I do not particularly care at all for weight tarot cards, but I dig the colors. So, and I like the size. For the oracle cards, we're going to use the Wisdom of Healing, right? Yeah. Wisdom of Healing. Whispers of Healing. Sorry, I have a ton of decks that are, like, there's this whole Whispers collection, and then there's also a whole Wisdom collection, and they look a lot alike as far as the imagery and the colors and stuff. So, yeah, anyways, Whispers of Healing. Sorry about that. We'll use that one, and then the animal messages. All right. Okay. Also, before we get started, I might put a timestamp on this video where the actual reading starts, because a lot of people don't like to hear announcements. Recently, I had a reader reach out to me for a reading. Not uncommon. I read for a lot of readers, actually. Yeah. You'll notice I do not give many shout outs, and it's nothing personal, not in the least. However, this one in particular, there's something about him that I believe many of you can benefit from. I've sat with this since the night that I read for him, and it's almost like, look, when you have a job, right, and a friend of yours or somebody's like, you know they're a good person, you know they're on the up and up, you know they're legit, you want to help, whatever, whatever. Not to say that I'm helping this person out in any way, but like, just for example, when you put your name out there and when you say, hey, can you give this person a chance at this job? And then if that person messes up, or even if they don't mess up, if they do everything right and there's just a clash of personalities, for some reason, it all comes back on you, right? Even though you had really nothing to do with any of it. And that's kind of where I stand on pretty much everything in the world. So it's for that reason that I don't give a lot of shout outs. Plus, I don't come across too many people that, I don't know, it just doesn't fit, you know what I mean? So it's nothing personal ever, but this one in particular, for several reasons that I'm going to go through only some. His channel is very small. It's Northern Comfort Tarot, okay? The reason, like I said, I don't know, there was something very different about his spirit from the first message, without even seeing or speaking with him. There's just something very, very different and unique about his spirit. There's also a lot of you that come to me that get good advice and guidance and clarity, and you need to hear what you need to hear, and you listen to it the way that I put it down, which is rough, raw, and unapologetic. If that's me, that's a real, I'm rough. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. And a lot of you resonate with that on a level that, like, it sort of puts a foot in your ass, and you get it and you listen to it. However, there are a lot of you, even the ones that resonate like that, that also want and are trying to learn from, I don't want to say a lower level, because it's not level like up and down. It's more like space, like this, right over and out, and either in directions, more than level up. Like, no one's above or below anyone. So I hate to say level. There are some of you starting out on a further out, maybe more towards the beginning stages of this journey, that are actually trying to learn tarot and learn to be comfortable with your intuition and learn cleansing processes and learn protection processes. And some of you are really into the twin flame aspect of things. And this person in particular has a much calmer spirit. It's a very humble spirit. It is also a spirit that is in the beginning stages of things. Not to say he doesn't know his shit. Just go check him out if you feel so inclined. All right, Northern Comfort Tarot. Again, I just feel like a lot of you, when you ask me questions, and even some of the things that some of you will say, and it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't go over that, because I assume that if you come to me, you're already to a point and on a level where we don't need to go over that. Well, I'm starting to see not the case, right? Some of you really resonate and need that message in a hard-hitting way. However, you're also on a part of your journey where you are trying to learn and grow in this path through tarot, through meditation, through cleansing and all that, and you're sort of at the beginning stages of that, just starting out. It's very new to you. His spirit in particular is very calm. It's very patient. It's very humble. It's a lot slower paced than mine, and he actually, like, goes into a lot of those things that you ask me at a sort of learning level. I feel like a lot of you could benefit, because you sort of will be learning together, especially those of you in particular that have more time. Many of you are a little bit older, and you're starting now because you have more time now than you had maybe when you were younger. And so, yeah, I just want to put that out there. Go check him out. I truly believe there's a good number of you that will resonate with him and with his spirit and what he has to offer and what he's doing, okay? He also does some stuff on some other channels. I'm not even going to get that all twisted up. Go check him out, and I'm pretty sure there's some sort of a link or something that you could check out that will take you to the other channels with other people that he's involved with, okay? So, there's that. April 11th. April 11th, the real shit. All right. Oh, I gotta stretch, y'all. These messages are general. They're not going to resonate with everyone. If I resonate with you and you would like a personal reading with me, you can reach me at the links in the description box below. There's 3 ways to reach me, 3 ways to donate. A donation is required in order to receive a reading. However, the amount is entirely up to you, but you got to give in order to get. Let's go. Wow. Panda. Enjoy the sanctuary of solitude to regain self-esteem and tranquility. Oh yeah, I'm showing you like this. Flip the camera. Panda. Enjoy the sanctuary of solitude to regain self-esteem and tranquility. You know, yesterday's readings were a lot about appreciating and being comfortable in the here and now with self versus looking outside, and that's been sort of this reoccurring reoccurring thing here for all of 2019. I'll also say during the pre-shuffle of both the main deck we're going to use and the clarifying deck, I did see quite a bit of karmic situations being released, quite a bit of loss, quite a bit of truths being spoken from a place of love, which can hurt and does hurt, especially the person that's speaking it, that does not aim to hurt anyone's feelings and yet knows that these truths will hurt feelings. So I did see a lot of that devil energy coming up, a lot of those karmic toxic bonds and things that we're now releasing. And when you start to cut things out of your life and speak your truth that you know not a lot of people are going to agree with, or when you finally have had your fill of someone's selfish ways and you have to speak your truth, not even, yes, it's so that they don't continue to run over you, but it's also so that you can stand in your power. There is something very powerful about standing up and finally saying it out loud, right? When you know it, when you think it, sometimes even when you write it down, it's good, it's great, it puts it into perspective a lot of times, but sometimes it's just not enough. Sometimes you need to actually get it out loud, speak it so that it's out there. It empowers you, and it also is honesty with that other person that you most likely care about. However, this can be somewhat challenging because it can leave you feeling isolated and alone, because a lot of times when it gets to that point, and I'm seeing two people in the middle of the road at a crossroads, and it's like, this is goodbye. This is where we part ways, and they separate. Yeah, and that's what I feel like is going on currently with all of us to some level, and it can be hard to maneuver and navigate through that without feeling depressed, because we're not creatures that are meant to be solely alone, right? We need our alone time, but we are meant to be in connection and to somewhat be in pairs and groups and tribes, okay? So enjoy the sanctuary of solitude to regain self-esteem and tranquility. So if you find yourself in these situations, and many of you are currently and will be in the near future, it's again, take that and sort of flip it. You're not lonely. It's not that no one wants to be around you. It's not that you're depressed and you're hermit and you're withdrawn and all that. Possibly this universe is giving you this opportunity, right, so that you can take a moment and sort of regroup. So appreciate that time, right? Appreciate that solitude and take that time to really get your self-esteem back in order, to recenter, right? Enjoy the tranquility. In fact, even if it is just a fucking closet, y'all, if it's a little bitty closet, or maybe it's your bathroom, or maybe it's a piece of your kitchen, or maybe you don't really ever sit down at the table to eat, so your dining room is free, whatever it is, if it's a small corner, I highly suggest creating a space for yourself that is tranquil. You may not be able to do, some of you live with other people, some of you have other people living with you, some of you live in small spaces, big spaces, some of you have fucking 20 people living with you, some of you have children running everywhere, some of y'all have fucking 5 dogs and 20 cats, and you know, whatever. Everyone's situation is different. You may not have a whole place or an entire room to create a certain vibe, right? But I highly suggest that you at least create a small corner, or even a corner of a closet, okay, that you can set up your altar, or it doesn't have to be an altar, you know, I don't know, all of these fucking terms are subjective, but I highly suggest you set up a space where you can create and be fully immersed in a certain vibe, okay, in that space of tranquility. Because it's a lot different sitting by yourself in your bed, in front of your TV, in front of your tablet, in front of your laptop, you know, or in the middle of your living room that you share with your husband or your wife, or your kids running everywhere. It's a lot different when you are sitting there alone in a place that is built for everyone, or for a specific purpose than when you are sitting alone in a space that you have made specifically to create a tranquil vibe for solitude. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If you don't believe me, try it out. Okay? It's a real thing, and I highly suggest doing that. All right? So then you're getting the parrot. Let sunshine revitalize your soul and color transform your world. I love it. Oh shit, I keep forgetting. Like, I'm supposed to be showing you like this. Love it. Let sunshine revitalize your soul and color transform your world. And you know, too much, I talked about this, I think yesterday, too much of anything is a bad thing. You know, too much, everything in moderation, everything requires balance. And so you have the panda, which is a very grounded animal, right? The panda eats, you know, chews on bamboo, and it sits on the ground. It's a little bit slower moving. It's much more playful. It is, you don't see pandas in packs, right? It's a much more grounded, solitary vibe, right? And you need that. You need that. But you also need the bird. The bird is much higher. The bird flies. The bird flies high in the sky, all right? This is why many of us in many cultures see birds as the message carriers, right? They carry message to spirit. The parrot in particular, very colorful, okay? It's like rejuvenating. Let sunshine revitalize your soul and color transform your world, right? So after being in solitude, we need to go out into the world. We need the sun, not just, I mean, it's scientific. Like, we need the sun, right? If your baby has jaundice when you come home from the hospital or whatever, what do they tell you to do? Set the baby in the sun. Set him in the windowsill, right? Plants need sun for food to grow. We need the plants for food, for oxygen, right? We need sun for vitamin D. We need sun, we need color, we need earth, we need other things than solitude. You know, I did a reading, I think it was yesterday morning. I don't know, y'all. My time is, I'm gonna need to take a break soon because where the person was debating leaving one place and going to another place because they were sort of having this feeling that their spiritual growth would be put on hold if they left this certain place. And, you know, there's a problem in that. I guess there's something really funny going on in there. Yeah, every place holds a different vibration, right? Every place, every space holds a different vibration. Ezra, calm down, baby. So I'm not discrediting the fact that certain places can take you higher and elevate you quicker and have certain energies that you need at that time to have a rapid form of spiritual growth. However, you can't just be stuck off in somewhere forever because you think if you leave that place, you will somehow halt your spiritual path or your spiritual growth. So I just think that these cards come out so beautifully because, like, we certainly Ezra, shh, we certainly need both. This kid, y'all. And then the mouse. Be present and incisive, and all obstacles will be overcome. I love it. Be present and incisive, and all obstacles will be overcome. No matter where you're at. And that's sort of what I was getting to, and that's what I even said in that reading. Like, no matter where you're at, you need to be present. Like, you don't always, the destination is not always the point, right? Many times, and most of the time, the whole point of even having the destination is to enjoy the journey along the way, to experience the journey along the way, right? Because there's always going to be a different destination. Once you get there, you never stay there. Nobody ever wants to be stagnant. So you're always going to have a different destination. The key is the journey. The journey, and to be present in that journey. So whether you are over here, over there, back again, somewhere new, it doesn't matter. That you need to be or try to be at least aware that we should be present. Okay, we should be present and incisive. I talk about a lot actually, there being power and decision. And not letting someone else sort of narrow down or make your choices for you, so that you don't have to decide, right? Flow. I love it. Flow. Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah. And there's a real... yesterday the energy was a bit heavier, and it's probably because we're coming towards the weekend. I tell you all the time, the weekend energy is much different. It's much different. It's much freer. It's much sexier. It's more primal. It's more playful. It's more freeing, right? Because during the week you work, you've got a schedule, you've got to keep, you got kids in school, you got work, you got a time clock to punch, whatever it is for you, right? It's much more structured and strict, and you know, when you start to approach the weekend, it becomes more freeing and flowing, the energy, because as I tell you all the time, doesn't matter what you believe, when enough people experience something and be feeling a certain type of way, because what is feeling? Feeling is emotion. What is emotion? Emotion and feeling is energy, right? So when enough people do that, that is the collective, that is the overall energy, right? And so it just seems today much more free and flowing. And even as we approach, you know, mid and end of this year, it will become more like that, because we are, as we let these things go, hard as it may be, okay, tough as it may be, emotional as it may be, painful as it may be, it does free us up. It does allow us to flow. And it does allow us to be in a space where we are reminded of attachment and lack thereof. Number 18. Ruminate. Ruminate. I don't know what to say about that one. I really don't. But I do think it's interesting that she's playing a flute, where the person in the background is charging forward on a horse about to go off of a cliff. And above her, there's children in a canoe that are the canoe is being pulled along by butterflies. To me, this card also is signifying quite a bit of transformation and different aspects of life. She's playing a flute, but I'm getting like, I'm getting a few things, right? Like the music calms the beast, but also marching to the beat of your own drum. And as I talk about these experiences and flowing and being present in the journey, right? Marching to the beat of your own drum, marching to your own music at any given space in life. Just sitting for a minute and experiencing. I also think it's interesting that you get 8 and 18, which is 9. It's like we're taking these steps, and I do feel and have been feeling like not a lot of us are going backwards. Now, I do also feel that there's a lot of situations that are coming up from the past and presenting themselves, but I don't feel like a lot of us are reverting back. I feel like a lot of us are, we're being presented with these people and situations and things and feelings in order to wrap up any loose ends and let it go and release it completely. I don't feel like anyone has just gone completely backwards or even will go. I'm sure some, but I'm not getting a strong sense of that, basically. All right. Intention, number 11, the master number, which is 2. 2s, 11s, and 22s have been coming up so much. All right. Intention. And this, she is charging forward on a unicorn. So again, you have a card here about unique, right? Because a unicorn is, how unique is a fucking unicorn? I've never seen one. Except for me, I'm just playing. But no, like the unicorn is, it's a, what do they call it? Like a mystical creature, right? And all the stories of the unicorn, it's like there's only one, right? It's this unique individual with its one horn. Excuse me. So it's about, again, I'm getting a transformational energy with all of these butterflies. You have family and people transforming, spirits flowing in the wings, right? Going up, people that are being resurrected and transformed, woken up from the dead, becoming something new, transmuting, okay? And you have this unique creature that she is riding on that is charging forward. It's charging toward this ruminate. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you're at, I think that, that's what I was saying when, you know, when people think that they need to be a certain place in order to achieve whatever it is they're trying to achieve. In that one person's case, it was that spiritual growth. Wherever you are, the main thing always, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, intention. Intention. So let's get to tarot. Three of Swords. With the Seven of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. Okay. They all come out sideways. They all came out sideways. And I feel like they're coming out sideways because we are in this transitional period, right? We're not all exactly healed. I'm going to show you in the upright, but we're not all exactly healed. But we're healing. We're learning. We're trying. We're also in the process of seeing what does and does not serve us anymore. The failure. Where have we failed? Where is it? It's like I'm hearing chalk it up. Chalk it up. You know? And we know that in order to heal from these heartbreaks and these pains and these scars, there's some shit we're going to have to chalk up. You may never have an answer. You may never get the closure that you want. Doesn't mean you didn't get closure. Just may never be sufficient for your ego. You got to let that shit go. You know, people are the way people are, and they're beautiful in their own right, and they have a purpose just the way they are. You know, I dealt with a situation, or couple situations actually, where recently, and then again last night, where people didn't react in the way that I thought that they should react. And I had to catch myself, you know, like because I am a certain way, I catch myself often, and this is why I tell y'all, you can only be you, and you can only control you. You cannot control what other people do or how they react, because they are not you. And you cannot take for granted that because you would be and react a certain way to something, that they also would be and react and act and think that way as well. So I have had to reassess and be like, you know, it's not that they're wrong in a sense, and if I were to tell you the situation, you would be like, hell no, that's fucking wrong. Well, you know, maybe it's wrong for me. Maybe it's wrong for you. But maybe it's 100% right for them, right? The thing is being able to recognize that if you stay there, you can't heal. Being able to recognize what does and does not work, okay? So that you can put it down or expand upon it, either one, whichever one, you know, makes you heal, whichever one closes the wounds. And there's some shit that we need to let go. There's some shit that, chalk it up. It's not the person you thought they were. People change, people grow, you know. Maybe they're not that person anymore. Maybe they never were. Who knows? Maybe the situation isn't what it once was. Maybe it just doesn't do it for you anymore. Whatever it is. This is something we will do throughout our lives. It's never like an end all be all situation. You never just get rid of something or try something and that's it. It works for the rest of your life. No, this is constant. What is it? The one thing that's constant is change. Okay, and then the 10 of Wands also coming out in the sideways position, okay? Because we have to lay down these burdens, we have to lay down these responsibilities, and like I said, you know, these people have not necessarily reacted in a way that I would react, or in a way that I think is fair or just, or even out of love or care or compassion, okay? However, maybe it's not their responsibility to, maybe that's not their place. In fact, I have one person that I talk to. It is the coldest person I think I've ever known. They have no sympathy. They have no compassion. Not for me. They do in a way, in a very small way, and not even really for that, for their own family. They're very cold. They're dealing with some shit, and have been since birth, and they're coming back. I'm telling you right now, that person is coming back. They're nowhere near where they need to be. But I talk to this person. I keep this person around because they are the coldest person I've ever met. They have no compassion, no sympathy. They don't give a shit about anyone or anything. And when you, or me, and maybe I'm sick, I don't know. But I keep this person around because when I get into moods where it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm too deep into my feelings, or maybe I care too much, or whatever it is, like I will bounce things off of this person knowing that they're going to give me the coldest response in life. And for whatever reason, it changes my perspective. Do I agree with them? Never. I don't think we've ever agreed on anything. And that's okay. But it does something. It's like this extreme, you know, the extreme to that end and the extreme to that end, it somehow brings it to this middle point for me where I realize that these responsibilities, these things that I'm hurting over, these things that I'm trying to do, trying to accomplish, these expectations that I'm holding others to, without even realizing it, I don't know, it allows me to lay it down and sort of just, I don't know, I guess it's because the person is such the opposite of me, you know, and if there's me at this extreme and them at that extreme, then you have to consider everything that's in the middle, right? And it's sort of just, for me anyway, it takes it out of myself, and not just a little bit, it's all the way out of myself. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we have to let these things go. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them we keep, some of them we hold on to. But a lot of them we let go. And I think for many of us, we've been holding on to some of these burdens and responsibilities for so long that we are not even sure, and maybe we don't even realize at this point how many we are holding on to that are truly not ours, that have nothing to do with us. And some of these responsibilities that we are holding up with the expectation of someone else. Some of these responsibilities are simply our expectation of other people taking their responsibilities. And it's not so. It's just not so. And these things, they oppress us. They oppress us. 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups here. You know, I feel like we have wanted to believe, and this is why we're going through this major purge, because a lot of our life so far we have wanted to believe something, and we have strived to believe that and make it so, and we're being thrown into a place where it's like you can no longer deny that these things are not working. Ezra, stop. We can't deny what we're looking in the face of, and we can't deny that it's too much of a burden to bear. We're oppressing ourselves with trying to live. And because the 7 of Cups, like, it's good to dream, right? What it's not good to do is dream and expect to bring into fruition things that are not practical, right? And I think that's what we're doing. I think that's what we're sort of sifting through and letting go of. That's part of the transformation. A lot of these things that we're letting go of aren't even necessarily real. And I say that because the people that we're letting go of, the people, because I'm telling y'all, we're starting to see people for their true colors, right? It's like we had this idea, and that's why for a number of months, they have shown me someone being handed a new set of eyes. And I believe what that means is, there are some things that we are going through, that we are seeing, that have never really changed. We're just seeing it now for what it truly is. So a lot of this 7 of Cups energy, and this 10 of Wands energy, and this 7 of Pentacles energy, and this 3 of Swords energy, it is us. It's all an illusion. It's like we're letting go of these people, and it's like, shit, I hate to have to put them down. I hate to not have to talk to them anymore. But the reality of the situation is that that person, you saw that person in a light that they never truly stood in. It's just the light that you chose to see them in. It was your dream. It was your delusion. And maybe it helped you get through a point in your life, or a period in your life where you needed to believe that, or you needed to see that in order to go forward. But now's the time to put it away. Now's the time to see it for what it truly is. And let's get out of these delusions, and let's heal, and let's go forward, and let's trash the crops and retill the ground, right? If it's not fucking growing, it's not growing. If it's too heavy, put it down. Five of Cups. I told you 5 of Cups came out in the what do you call it? I'm going to show you in the upright, but it came out in the reverse. In the pre-shuffle, okay? Because it's a short pain. And a lot of the pain is, it's like, you know, for a good number of us, we have already lost these people long ago. And we knew it, but we held on to a dream, we held on to a fantasy, we held on to an illusion. And I think that's why we're recovering so fast. It's not that we're actually recovering that fast. It's because we've known at some level that this has been over for quite some time. And so we're coming by with ourselves and looking at the reality of the situation. We're facing reality. But bottom line, we're facing reality. And the reality is that we lost this shit a long time ago. Why are we crying now? Right? So I feel like that's why it feels like we're recovering so fast. It's not that we're recovering fast. It's that we're facing it. We're just finally facing it for what it is. And so we come out of this stage of being isolated and alone, this stage of loss, this period of mourning. It's like, it's just the final stages of releasing it. That's what I get. Now the Emperor is coming in reverse, all right, with the 3 of Wands, and the Fool also coming in reverse, okay? So the Emperor coming in reverse here underneath this 3 of Swords. I'm going to show you in the upright. Came out in the reverse. I do feel like, sorry, we've lost control. We've given up our power. The Three of Swords, especially coming with the Emperor like this, is kind of tricky because it's like you've got to give up your power and you've got to let down your wall. You've got to allow your heart to be vulnerable to a point where someone can get in there to hurt it in the first place. And then once they hurt it, you've got to take back control, dust your fucking knees off, and stand up. Once you see who they are and what they are for the manipulator and the control freak that they are, if that is in fact the case, and sometimes this is us, this could be you dealing with you, okay? Well, then you have to take it back. So it's this real, and again, there again, with everything, it is balance. It's this push and pull, always. So again, like you've got to give the power up in order to become vulnerable, to let someone in so that they can hurt you, so that they can teach you your lessons, so that you can get rid of them and pick up all the pieces and get your power back. You've got to give up your power to get it back. I know that sounds retarded, but that's life. Why? Because this is the future. This is our ships coming in, right? This is goals. We step away from this domineering energy. We step away from this unorganized life. And maybe there's organization in the unorganized, right? I talked about that the other day. Don't touch my fucking shop table. It looks messy to you, but I know where everything is at, and I can get in there and knock out a piece of magnificent jewelry in an hour or two. And if you touch my shit and it looks all clean, I'm probably going to spend an hour or two finding everything that I need and getting out just to be able to work on it, you know? And so maybe, I don't know, I just feel like this is the beginning for a lot of us. Another beginning. So much is closing out. But again, with this Five of Cups in the reverse, it's like, yes, it's closing out, but it's more like we're facing the fact that it's closing out because it's been done for a long time. This Fool in the reverse position here, underneath the Ten of Wands, you know, what I see here is it's hard to lay down that responsibility. It's hard to lay down those wands. It's hard to lay down those expectations. And it is hard. It's hard enough to face yourself in the mirror. I think it's equally as hard and sometimes harder to face if you have been trying to convince yourself that someone is something or at a stage or whatever this is, to be honest with yourself about who they truly are. I think that can be as hard, if not harder sometimes, than facing yourself in the mirror. Facing the truth and being honest with yourself that you have created a delusion, an expectation that doesn't exist. Why is that hard? Because you have to admit you were wrong, and it's hard for us to admit that we were wrong about people. And a lot of times I don't even think that we're necessarily 100% wrong. I feel like a lot of times we can see things in people that they don't see in themselves. We see spurts of their energy. We see spurts of their aura. We see them in past lives. We see them, for those of you that are truly all the way in the depths of your journey, you know, you don't even see a face when you look at people anymore. You see a soul. You see energy, and that's it. And so you see parts of them that they have not yet accepted or that they have not yet perfected. So I don't feel like it's all the time just someone living in delusion. I feel like there's a lot of truth to what we see. However, are they really at that point in their life? Most of the time, no. Most of the time, no. And so it's hard to admit that you have to let this person go. You have to let people go so that they can grow. And if you come back together, that's amazing. And if you don't, oh fucking well. It is what it is. Like, I hate to be like that, but, you know, it is what it is. Princess of Cups coming in the reverse position underneath this Seven of Cups. I'm going to show you in the upright, but it does come in the reverse, okay? And what I'm getting with this is, you know, that's that cold energy I was talking about. That they're not gonna be sorry. They're not gonna be compassionate. They're not gonna, everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people here, Ezra, please stop, are out for themselves. And no matter how much you tell someone or can see that someone needs to free themselves, what they believe ultimately is what matters for them. And so to face the reality of a situation and know that you're dealing with certain people that you truly love, certain people, things, places, situations that you truly do love and have real passion and compassion for, and knowing and having to walk away knowing that they're not free, and that they may, the reality is they may never be free, and they may never realize the truth of the matter, and they may never actually have compassion again, or ever, or love, or apologize for, you know, for their actions and their lack of compassion, right? Four of Swords coming in at the end, okay? And I think it's really just about going in and meditating and, like I said at the beginning, rearranging our thoughts. Like, are we really alone since we've had to leave all of these people and places and things behind? Or are we given, or being given, a chance to sort of create a space of solitude so that we can recenter and rebalance in this tranquil space, so that we can utilize this to our benefit, for our benefit? Okay, Eight of Swords in the reverse position with the Death card, the Magus in the reverse position, and the Hermit. Wow. With the King of Wands and the Eight of Wands. We could just probably keep going. Five of Swords in reverse, the Empress coming out. Jesus. With the Temperance and the Moon. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wowza. There's so much being revealed, and yet there's still so much that hasn't made itself known. And I think it's absolutely beautiful that we're able to go on our intuition, that we're able to trust that right now fully, because we know that that is part of what we need to heal. We know that we need to take a step back. Again, you've got a card coming in, Temperance, about moderation and too much of anything, right? With the Empress coming in, because this is how we're going to achieve abundance. This is how we're going to get back to our creator, our co-creator way. With the Five of Swords coming in the reverse position, because we no longer need to have this internal conflict. You know, that cold person I'm telling you about that I keep around, I keep that around because he is so cold. I mean, no compassion ever whatsoever. And I personally, a lot of people are like, Becky, there's something wrong with you, you're a little bit sick. No, I think it's beautiful. I really do. When I tell you that I truly believe it takes all kinds, I'm not talking out of my ass. Like, that's really the way I live my life. I truly believe it takes all kinds. Everyone, I don't give a fuck, everyone has something to offer. You just got to be open to it. So they asked me, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? And I don't remember which one they said, but I said, having a bit of inner conflict. And then I said, you know, it's not even really inner conflict. I mean, I think I had inner conflict for about, you know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, where I was already decided, and I actually said this, I've already decided which monster I'm going to feed. Because I believe that, you know, there's monsters in all of us, and, you know, which one survives? Well, the one that you feed. And I've already decided which one I want to feed. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, because, I mean, to be honest, I like the darkness. I am comfortable in the darkness. I do not believe that evil equates to dark and light equates to good and holy. And therefore, I'm just more comfortable in the dark. And I've been telling you, you follow me on social media, I'm telling you, there's something coming. There's something coming within me. I feel it. You know, and I'm going to take a moment right here to explain to you why I'm called Child of Light. It is not because I am this ultimate light, illuminated light being that sits up on some pillows in a white, a pure outfit. meditating all day and eating good foods and going, no, no. And it bothers me when people say, how could you call yourself child of light when you cuss like that and you do this and you say that? Well, bitch, let me tell you how. Because I was in a very dark place for a very long time, and I was consumed by the darkness. There's a difference in being comfortable in the darkness and accepting the darkness and being consumed by the darkness. Believe that. And I was, in fact, consumed by the darkness and had never seen light. Ever. Ever. And when I finally did, it's like I had been fighting dark for so long. I allowed it to consume me. And when I finally saw light, when I finally allowed myself to be in that place, it was like, holy shit. I am a child of light. I already knew I was a child of darkness. Fucking duh. Like, there was no denying that. What I did not know is that I was a child of light. What I did not know is that we all have these two aspects of ourselves within. And when I saw that, that is the name that stuck. Like, because it was like so wow to me. Like, oh wow, like I'm a child of light too. Like I have that light. I have light too. You know, and others could see it, but I never could. And others couldn't see what I was going through, especially on the inside, especially in other realms. You know, some could, but not a lot. So, you know, child of light just sounded easier and better than child of light and darkness, or darkness and light, or a mix of like what, like, come on. That is why I'm called child of light. Not because I am some airy-fairy, frilly rainbows and sunshine guru on a fucking cloud, okay? So, fun tidbit there. Anyway, yes, I was saying that I enjoy the darkness, and I'm comfortable in the darkness, and this inner conflict, this constant battle with self, I think it's becoming less and less. At least we spend less and less time there, if that makes sense. Because things are moving so much more swift. The communication is so much easier. We're honest with ourselves. We're honest with others. We communicate openly rather than letting things fester. And that's part of losing people, right? And it's just, we're traveling at a rapid speed with this King of Wands because we can see the future, because we are truly visionaries, because we are co-creators, because we are understanding that we are co-creators, because we are understanding how fast we are saying and thinking things, and they are manifesting into reality literally before our eyes, right? We're seeing the future, right? And we're doing it because we're going to the depths of ourselves, because we're following our light, okay? The Magus is coming in reverse here. There's a few things I'm getting from this. We are not recognizing all the skills that we have, not utilizing all the skills that we have. And we are still, some of us, surrounding ourselves with manipulating people that are using their power for the bad. And some of us are tempted to, me being one of them, I am not excluding myself from this, tempted to use our powers and our knowing and our gifts for bad in some of those spaces. And it's not like we're being tested by the universe. This is a test that we are giving ourselves. That's probably going to offend a lot of people, because everybody likes to say that the devil comes in to test you and this and that. I mean, you have the right to believe whatever you want, as do I. But it is my truth that we are putting ourselves through this to see how far we have come. What are we truly capable of? We're capable of anything. Doesn't make it right. So knowing that I'm capable of these horrible things and choosing to not do them because I've grown. That's what I'm getting with this card. Okay? With the death. We're letting shit die. We're being reborn. Total transformation. Okay, with the Eight of Swords was the first one at the bottom of the deck coming in the reverse position. I'm going to show you in the upright, because we are walking through that gate, because we will no longer be held down by our own, again, like I said, this is us with us, by our own thoughts, okay, our own prison that we've had the keys to all along. I love you all so, so much. We didn't even get to the clarifying deck because, and you know what? I don't think I've used clarifiers on this deck. This deck is a very powerful deck. for me. Yeah, the messages come through very, very strong with this deck. But yeah, so we didn't even get to the clarifying deck, but I love you all very much, and I will see you next time.